All 22 Fantasy Field is our host tonight to begin your late night Saturday block of SFL action in week 6 as the Nashville Tempo will play host to the Motor City V8s, who last week picked up their first win under the guise of new head coach Robert Thump. Nashville, meanwhile, looking to bounce back after a loss to Florida a week ago. They sit currently at 500. Should be a good one tonight. The first block of games was absolutely outstanding. Hopefully this block follows the same trajectory, and alongside me this evening to break this one down is none other than one of the winning players on one of those games from earlier today. I'm sure he's on a bit of a high, Mark Lopez. Mark, give me the keys to this matchup tonight.
Hey there, Jacob. Yeah, I am on a bit of a high, and both of these teams looking to be experiencing the same high, trying to come off of a win. Keys to victory for either team has got to be number one, pass protection. Both teams near the bottom half as far as allowing sacks to their quarterback. For King Jackson and the Motor City offense, they're pretty good on the ground. They have to start unlocking their scoring in the passing game. Only 2 total touchdowns, despite throwing the third fewest interceptions. Meanwhile, Switch Thumper in the top 10 in total attempts, but the bottom 5 as far as completion rate goes.
Good return off the outset there. Push to the outside. There was a flag thrown on the play there. Ryan Davis assigned early with returning duties. And there was a clip in there somewhere from Nashville. That's going to take about 15 yards off of Davis's return. And as highlighted, Nashville started 2-0. Then last week they lost to the division opponent in Florida, and the other loss came against the Indianapolis Ramblers, who was the team that Motor City beat last week, caught them napping.
Yes, sir.
40-24 win for the V8s, but they'll start on defense today. Thumper with 4 wide to open up with, so an aggressive start from the Nashville offense. 4-1 dime out of Motor City. Thumper going to absorb some pressure, throws across, and it's caught in between the numbers there. Guy Clausen, early introduction, picks up 20 yards.
A nice start for Nashville. Starting off with a throw here, Jacob, one of the few teams with so much wide receivers and tight ends, probably the most in the league. They have a total of 9 between their wide receivers and tight ends in their contracted roster. They can look to throw a lot.
Nashville have 5 veteran wide receivers on this roster. We'll highlight those after this play. 4 wide here. A single back behind Thumper, and it's going to be a carry to the left-hand side. Easton King picks up no yard gained on that play.
I was just using it. Hold on. Let me move this.
Nice spread here on the offset. Thumper drops back. He will absorb a hit and takes a sack there. Dumped in the backfield. Motor City gets an early statement on defense there. Loss of 6 yards.
King McNeely with a sack. First sack of the season.
From that inside linebacker spot, pushing through. Nashville now with a 3rd and long. Again, 4 wide. They've had this every play of this drive so far. Some variation of a 4 wide set. They're going to motion one of those receivers across. That's Clausen, who had the first catch. Thumper's going to roll out. He'll have Sanders to block. Short side throw caught again by Guy Clausen. What a start for the former Motor City V8. And he picks up another 16 odd yards on that completion and a first down.
Another catch for him. He already had 15 prior to this game. Jacob, 190 yards. Still no touchdowns to his name this season, but he's proving to be the #1 weapon for Switch Thumper.
Spent 7 seasons with the V8's Guy Clausen. Now in Nashville colours, this handoff up the middle is going to pick up a single yard. This tempo offense. Switch Thumper, the signal caller, Easton King and Sean Sanders, the backs, Jay Barmer, the fullback, Kenny Hendricks, Joe Beasley, Guy Clausen, Ryan Davis, and Jeff Banfield, those 4 receivers, the 4 tight ends, Jim Copeland Jr., I should say, Jimmy Wint, Jimmy Walters, and Jimmy Foster, the 4 Jimmies on that roster at the tight end spot. That throw from Thumper is incomplete, but a pretty clear and obvious hit there on the PI.
Yeah.
That's going to put Motor City up here, or Nashville rather, inside the Motor City red zone.
And already switched Thumper with multiple passes in this drive alone. We mentioned his being top 10 in pass attempts in the league, 124. That's good for 9th. But he's sitting at below 50% completion rate, 47.6%. He needs to improve on those. This little flag probably helping him in that department.
I should say that James Walters is not Jimmy Walters. No idea if he goes by Jimmy, but Nashville had the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever and didn't quite get there. A Thumper now on a first down. Again, it's 4 wide out of the tempo. Throws towards the boundary there. And Ryan Davis couldn't come up with that one. So Motor City gets a hold there on defense. Deflection from Mark Kaufman. Brings up a 2nd and 10. So again, James Walters has been very aggressive with the play calling thus far. 3 wide here, single tight end now in the fold. The handoff to the short side for Sean Sanders. He will pick up 7 on that carry. So he eclipses his total yardage from last week, Mark, on 1 carry this afternoon.
Yep, he did. Although, interestingly, they've been running single back formation almost 90% of the time here in this drive, Jacob. High spread here's probably the first few times we see 2 backs in the backfield.
Thumper on 3rd down. He's going to get sacked again. Motor City gets the hold on defense. They were bending just a touch there from some of the passes concepts that were thrown by Robert Thump, who's going to get home and stop the drive.
He already had the 2nd most sacks received with 10 in their first 4 games, and now he surrendered 2, or the pass protection has surrendered to the 2nd one, yielding a field goal.
Field goal attempt here from 35 out from Victor Ironleg is up and
down?
through. No, it's not.
No. Or someone's
The
down.
Ironleg miss, because I looked up and it looked like it went through. There's an injury on the field for Motor City.
I think the injury just delayed the score being put on the board, but it did look good. But unfortunate that someone went down out of this.
One of the backups seemingly for Motor City, but that kick from Victor Ironleg did go through. Just a delay in that score being posted on the presentation. So Motor City will now have their opening drive. This kick returned up past the 25 to the 27. This offense led out by King Jackson, Shane Kaufman, and Christopher Dean, the backs, Julian Gustas, the fullback, the receivers. They've got 5 wide as well. King Alexander, Johan Sutherland, Queen Jackson, Terrell Cooper, Jay Viper, the tight ends, Azami Mahata, Phil Koss, and then Mo Biggins, Scott Pancake, and Bill and Phil McMillan on the line. It's got plenty of weapons for both of these quarterbacks to throw to. Not quite to the extent that Nashville have got, but still a healthy 7 targets going downfield for Motor City. We'll start here with the split twins to turn into split pro set here. Handoff on the short side. That is to Christopher Dean. He does not pick up any yardage there. Only stop for Nashville.
I'm not a fan of those split back handoffs where your halfback that receives the ball runs the opposite side that he was situated at. That's a longer distance to run and gave the linebackers time to tackle.
This formation down to the bottom, and that's a contested catch made. They're in heavy traffic for a first down pickup, and straight away Terrell Cooper injected into the contest.
Yeah, 270 yards in the season. He's in the top 10 as far as yards per catch with 20.8. That's an incredible amount as far as efficiency and explosiveness goes. I want to keep throwing to that guy.
Split twins here, so a run this early to the tailback in Dean, and it's the same result here. This time it loses a yard. Tackle made in the backfield by Jeff Gagne, and this Nashville defense, Jose Fuentes, RC Puff, and the line, Jane Mart, Tigger Clay, Dylan Bansler, and Jeff Gagne, the linebackers, the secondary. We'll get to after this play 4 wide, so there's going to be an injection of secondary here, you would imagine. King Jackson trying to make up for the negative play on the previous attempt. He'll throw quickly, caught with one hand. Great grab there, crossfield made by King Alexander, and it's a first down for the V8s on offense.
Jackson is really slinging the rock early on in this drive. I wouldn't be surprised if he kept slinging it, but he only had 20 or 89 pass attempts in their first 4 games. That's less than 25 per game, so maybe they got a switch of a game plan, maybe try to throw more tonight, but they line up again in split twins here, Jacob.
Split twins again, same run play for Dean, that loses a yard, so we've seen that 3 times now, and every time it's resulted in a tackle for loss for Jeff Gagne.
Yeah. This time I think it's Julian Gusters with the carrier.
Yeah, they've been trying those sweeping run plays across the formation. They just have been read very well so far by this Nashville defense. Spread formation here. Ooh. Jackson was hit as he threw, and that was risky because there were 2 secondary members, and they probably cancelled each other out there. Xavier Rue, the third, could not come up with that pick, and it's going to be a 3rd and long upcoming for King Jackson.
That could have been his 4th interception, could have been his 8th sack. None of those conspired to happen, and it's 3rd and long empty set here, testing the waters with his 5 wide receivers. He has Phil Koss out there too.
Here as highlighted.
Oh, no!
Jackson, the pump fake, that's the end of him. Goes down in the backfield. There, and it's a hold for the Nashville tempo on defense. RC Puff gets into the backfield and gets a sack.
Wow, what a play by Puff, getting his 2nd one and just outruns the edge blocker. He gets there home, he gets there quickly, and what a huge play by this Motor City defense, or Nashville defense.
Punt sails away, is fielded inside the 15, and that's where he will be planted. So a decent result there on the punt for Motor City as Jeff Banfield assigned to those returning duties, and Nashville gets another opportunity on offense. This Motor City defense almost got a complete hole, but surrendered the 3-pointer on the opening drive from the tempo. Motor City showing blitz. It's a throw to the short side from Thumper. That was risky and couldn't quite hit Jim Copeland Jr. Now, a 4 wide set again. So again, the aggressive play calling on show here from James Walters. Receiver pulled in motion across. Kenny Hendricks, that is. Now drop back from Thumper, throws across, and it's complete for a first down. Jeff Banfield hit for the first time today.
And Jeff Banfield, good job hanging on to that ball as it was thrown into coverage here. Actually, although it might have been thrown into coverage, the man covering him in that one-on-one coverage actually was left behind in the dust, so it was up to the safety in the vicinity to force a stop there, but couldn't come away and set its completion. Decent 4-yard carry here.
Right there, the Sanders picks up 4 yards, and Nashville moving here. Second and 6 here. Split back Jokers off to the side. Drops back here and picks up 3 yards there on the toss to Jay Barmer.
Yeah, nice swing pass there, setting themselves up for 3rd and short here, and their run game has been pretty decent tonight, Jacob. Coming out of single back most of the time. This is the first time they bring out their heavy set.
The Jokers set off to the far side here. It's going to be a carry for Easton King, who will pick up a first down.
Yeah, good first down there. That down was actually just one in the trenches. His lead blocker in Balmer didn't even need to block anyone downfield, and the tackle just came from behind. That could have been for tens of yards more, but good tackling there at the tail end of the play.
Triple formation here, single back off to the left. Their own 40 now, a handoff up middle. He's stopped after a 3-yard pickup, and we'll highlight quickly this Motor City defense. Robert Thump and Lucas Gilbert, the edges. Doug Howard and Dakota Butts, the inside tackles. Camper Jones, King McNeely, Rodney Panani, and TJ Harper, the linebackers. Mark Kaufman, Sammy Seatbelt, King Rashid, and Todd Risby, with Nicholas Warner at the strong safety spot. That is Robert Thump's defense. Now Nashville. Offset eye, 2 tight ends here. A handoff up the middle to Easton King, who gets forward progress once more. So King starting to really settle into this matchup here, Mark, as the more power-oriented back.
Yeah, absolutely. And they took advantage of the fact that one of the outside linebackers, either Harper or Panani, actually moved up on the line into the edge to provide edge support, but instead they attacked the middle, where there was no longer any more additional support, and that's what they got.
Thumper, a throw in traffic. That was a little risky, but hits Jim Copeland Jr. for a pickup of 6. So again, and Switch Thumper, worth highlighting, didn't have a bad game against Florida. The game just tended to get away from Nashville in that one, but again, he's top 5 in passing touchdowns this season, and that handoff at the middle to Sean Sanders, who's having a much better week today. He picks up the first down.
And a much-needed improvement for week for Sanders, too, for his 1.9 average. Once more of that.
1 quarter done. It's a low-scoring affair thus far. Nashville up 3-0. Here at All 22 Fantasy Field here in Nashville, Tennessee. 5 wide here to start off with for Sweeps Thumper. Been a theme so far in this game. Thumper's going to stand in an empty pocket. That's going to be incomplete though. Hit from behind. There was Kenny Hendricks. Couldn't quite hang on to that one.
Second and then though, more often than not, they've run 4 wide out here out of 2nd and 10, trying to throw here and cut that into 3rd and short. 3 wide out this time.
So pick up on the tendencies here out of James Walters' offense. Thumper's going to throw cross. That's incomplete. Good coverage again downfield. Trying to force it to Jim Copeland Jr., but couldn't find it. And again, 4 tight ends on this roster, and Copeland Jr. tends to swarm most of the targets out of that group, taking some away from veterans like James Walters. Hasn't looked out of place coming out of retirement. Jim Copeland Jr. 4 wide here on a 3rd down and 10. Thumper's going to roll across. Wow. That's caught in double coverage. Great grab from Kenny Hendricks. And that'll be a pick up of 12 and a first down.
What a beautiful catch by Hendricks, who climbs the ladder in this one. And also this throw on point hits him on the fingers, where you want to have your wide receiver make the catch away from the safety and just over the head of the linebacker. Great play by Nashville.
Thumper is now 6 of 10. He's found 4 different receivers so far in this game. He drops back here on a first down, fires it, and Hendricks has caught it inside goal to go territory.
Here we go. Switch Thumper is now picking up steam, and his throwing is electrifying in this drive, setting themselves up, I think, inside the 5 here. Wow. what a play. I mean, they sure hit or, laid the lumber on Kenny Hendricks, but hanging on to the ball despite all that. First and goal of the 2.
We have to stop from here. It's going to be Sanders in the backfield.
Wow.
Got a good block from Palmer, but he can't get there. He went inside, which was away from where Jay Barmer was leading him, and he only picked up a yard there. It'll be a touch closer on this second attempt, but it's been Easton King who has opened up the spaces out of the backfield so far today. He is off the field for the time being. It's Sanders again. On the inside, gets a carry. This time he follows Jay Barmer into the end zone, and Sean Sanders will pick up a major score.
And the Nashville tempo just doubled up in their total touchdowns on the ground, at least from their running backs. That's touchdown number 2 in the season for Sean Sanders, and they're taking the lead here, 10-0. I mean, what a start to their very first season as a franchise. They start 2-2. They dropped the last 2 games, but Jacob, that was against Florida, that was against Indy, 2 respectable teams. Now against Motor City, they want to keep themselves in track of coming away with a winning season.
Sanders' 15th career touchdown, and again highlighted second for Nashville. And after the week he had last week, he was completely silenced by that Florida Storm defense, starting to get some breathing room in this matchup against Motor City. But again, Motor City scored 40 points against a stout Indianapolis defense. That same defense held Nashville to 6 points in a matchup. So lots of different ways that this rest of this turn can go if you're Motor City. We know that this offense can put up some points. So 10 points is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but Jackson will want to get something going on his second possession here. Nashville have dragged their drives out a bit and have run some clock. That's a better carry up the middle. Picks up 8 yards there for Christopher Dean, so they venture away from those split back carries for a moment, and that one picks up 8.
And to your point earlier about Motor City, you're right. We've seen them score a lot. They scored that 40-point game in their previous outing, averaging 20 points per game every week here. But, short carry there.
Handoff up the middle is stuffed straight away by Tigger Clay, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. And Christopher Dean had almost half of his entire rushing total for the entire season last week against Indianapolis, 1 yard shy of 100. May get another touch here on 3rd down and short. He'll run it up the middle, bowls through a defender, and picks up a tough 5 yards to pick up the 1st down.
I love that power running at its finest. He sure added a bit of agility there, finding gaps in the line, but powered through the first hit, picking up 1st down.
So the Twins here on 1st down. This is where we've seen the sweeping run. That time, Kaufman gets a little bit of forward progress, but it still didn't quite open up the way that they probably draw it up. And it'll be a 2nd and 8 upcoming.
You probably have a few similar plays like that Nashville just prepared well for.
Jackson dropping back to throw. That's an out route, and a tough one to reel in there for Phil Koss. And he was able to corral it and brings up a 3rd and 4, pick up of 4 on that play. Dylan Bansler making sure he couldn't turn that one upfield, but it was King Jackson not really averse to throwing this one downfield. He's going to have a try here on 3rd down. Good throw into a tight pace of base, and it'll be a 1st down pickup there across body. And Motor City keep moving there through Jay Viper.
Your Viper getting his first catch of the night, and Jackson throwing his 4th completion of the night. Good for about 75% completion rate. Now 80%, but Viper, nice spot, finding his route into the only open space at the side of the field, and good time to capitalize by Motor City.
Fresh set of downs to work with. We'll hand off again to the short side, and A pickup of 2 on that carry, and trying to work out who that is and whether or not it's one of the backup fullbacks. They're getting those carries on the sweep. Thought it was Shane Kaufman on first look, but it's not. They got someone else in on those touches, Motor City. Perhaps that's holding them back from being played out the way that Robert Thump drew them up in film. The 2nd and 8 here now for King Jackson. Delayed handoff, and Dean got caught behind the blocker, and Nashville all over that one. He loses the yardage gain on the first play, and it'll be a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Jacob, that handoff might have been delayed, but the tacklers, the linebackers, were definitely ahead of schedule in the backfield already as the ball was snapped.
Jackson going to roll out, no pressure. Great grab, cross body, caught by King Alexander, and there's going to be a face mask on the play.
Oh, goodness.
That is some effort from King Alexander.
What a play. Adding insult to injury here. That was an incredible catch. Could have been an early contender for a catch of the night. Nice sense catch of the night. Oh, it was a long night to go, Jacob.
Jackson rolls away. Pressure was trying to get to him. Oh, incomplete. Found a one-on-one matchup in the end zone there, but it's batted away and forced incomplete there by King Bradshaw, who had a big afternoon against Florida. Settled in nicely to this secondary. And now on a 2nd and 10. Motor City back into this split twins formation. This time it's a faked handoff, and swarming him from behind there and getting a play out of a coverage sack is Danny Carmichael.
Oh no, it's the blocker just blowing up, messing up his block, not meeting up with the defensive end there, and that fake handoff actually gave time for the defensive end to make the sack, and it's suddenly 3rd and 11.
King Jackson's going to drop back on a 3rd down, rolls around, he's got time, throws across his body, great tip. Forced that one away once again. King Bradshaw on the stop. Couldn't quite get that one over the top. There out of hands from King Jackson, looking for Terrell Cooper. And it'll be a field goal attempt here from English T from 38 yards away. Drafted free agent kicker. Swings this one from right to left, and it's up and through. And with 4.5 minutes left in the opening half, Motor City gets a score on the board.
They spent 4 minutes to score 3 points. So I'd say, Jacob, this is a win for the Nashville defense. As sure, they allow points and make it a 1-score game again, but it's only 3 points in that amount of time. They've definitely lowered the scoring efficiency of Motor City compared to last week.
English T will kick this one away, and Nashville will get another opportunity here on offense. The return's going to get some good field position. It spins it to the outside. Dangerous opportunity here. Keeps going to the far edge there. Was Joe Beasley on returns, and they're up over halfway already.
He makes the smoothest spin move of the decade that I've seen in simulation sports history. Number 15 there, unable to make the tackle, made to look like a silly goose. And what a return by Beasley.
And Queen Jackson there would want that one back. Beasley gets Nashville up over halfway, and considering Nashville's last drive spanned 15 plays and over 5 minutes of time, the City certainly didn't need to surrender that on the opening play. Now, fake from Thumper, incomplete. Banfield doesn't usually drop those, but it forces incomplete.
Yeah, not usually, especially in open space. Credit to the pass protection, Jacob, allowing that much of a time to make the throw happen in the first place. But at 2nd and 10 instead, and they line up with 3 wide outs here. Offset, wide receiver.
Single back off to the left there, and that time Banfield makes up for the error. Great call. It's fact, it's Jim Copeland Jr. across body there and picks up a comfortable first down. So a good start for Jim Copeland Jr. in this game. He's got 2 catches, that one worth 20 yards.
I couldn't get a number, but I think that's one of the safeties trying to gamble on intercepting that pass instead of playing the player. And as such, missed the interception. It's a completion instead in a huge gain by Nashville.
Thumper rolls out, it's going to rush it, and he got nailed at the line of scrimmage. Great read there from Motor City on defense.
Great read indeed, and good coverage downfield. Thumper couldn't switch on his gears, as you could say, and couldn't find more than 1 yard. He's going to have to make do with 4 wideouts in this play.
Thumper now, single back off to the left. Sanders gets the toss play, and again, Motor City up in his face. Nicholas Warner makes that tackle, and it'll be a 3rd and long upcoming. Motor City would love a stop here in this kind of range.
They've more often than not thrown and tried to throw deep on with 4 wideouts in those kind of situations. So a run there threw me off. This time for sure it's going to be a pass, right?
Thumper will roll out, got a clean pocket, tipped,
Nice.
And Motor City gets a hold. It's inside of Victor Ironleg's range, but at the very minimum, they don't give up a major score and are going to get the football back, you would imagine, here, with plenty of time to do something of their own before the half is out.
Might have been Nicholas Warner on the pass deflection. Great job by the strong safety.
Ironleg already 1 for 1 today. Swings that one left to right, and it falls through. So that negates the field goal from English T on the last drive for Motor City. And Nashville gets some points off of that good return from Joe Beasley.
Decent drive by them. Takes them a shorter amount of time than the last one, which lasted 5 minutes, but they travel, I'd say about 15 yards. Our statisticians say 22 yards for that drive.
Kick from Victor Ironleg was not even close to being returnable. So Motor City will trot this one out to the 20. And got a highlight. Again, this Motor City offense can move the ball downfield. We haven't seen it so far from King Jackson. It's been a very conservative approach to this matchup thus far. Split back, they're going to move one of those receivers down to the bottom. And it will be a handoff on the short side. We'll pick up maybe a yard there out of Julian Gustas. And just that play just has not worked for them. They surely have some other run plays in that formation they can draw from. A split spread formation here, 3 wide. 4-2 nickel showing to counter. Motion one of the receivers to try and find some free space on the outside. Jackson's going to roll out, throws across his body. That one's picked. He gambled one too many times with that throw, and it's going to be returned inside the 10 to the 7.
Oh, poorly advised throw. One of those throws where you look at it, thrown across the body, thrown away from where you rolled out to where your wide receivers are typically going to be in, and that was just well read by Mart on the interception. Touchdown saving tackle at the end there, but still a turnover. Motor City could have had the final possession of the first half and the score. Instead, Nashville with a chance to extend the lead.
J-Mar, one of the most important pickups this Nashville front office made in the offseason. He can do a bit of everything there. Gets an interception that was almost a pick 6, and now the run for Easton King up the middle gets about 4. And just again to highlight that King Jackson's made quite a few of those crossbody, trying to hit short routes far away from him. And that time, the gamble, he pays the price on. And now Nashville, with 2 minutes left in the term, an opportunity now to add a major score on and really kick this score out. King in the backfield again. He gets a carry.
Oh,
Good
nice
tackle in an open field. Stops him at the line of scrimmage and potentially saves a touchdown.
King Rashid with an incredible solo tackle from the cornerback position, and he puts on the lumber, forcing 3rd and goal with 3 yards to go.
King in there again. Barmer's going to be motioned as an offset fullback here. Handoff to Easton King. Picked up and dumped. Another hole for Motor City on defense. Gets the job done. And Kappa Jones gets a tackle in there. And once again, Motor City just keeping their team in it at the moment on defense.
It's just unfortunate for Motor City that tackle was made 1 yard out from the incentive mark of 2 yards from the end zone.
Victor Ironleg hits that chip shot through, and he's 3 for 3 on the half. And now Motor City will have another shot before the half is out. The SFL convention is headed to Baltimore for the 2025 convention, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th to the 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, I should say, the Hyatt Regency, looking out into Baltimore's Inner Harbor, and revel in the league's first convention on the East Coast. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net. That announced on Friday night. It's the earliest the convention has ever been announced, almost 12 months in advance. Plenty of time to get your act together to go and head out to Baltimore for the 2025 convention. A handoff on the short side. I think even the Motor City coaching staff are getting a bit tired of seeing that. J Mart blowing up that run play. They've seen that one a few too many times now.
It's like bashing your head on the wall, hoping for a different result to happen. But Nashville stayed disciplined and know what to do when attacking that play.
Jackson's going to throw here to try and get something going downfield across body. That's caught in the field of play by Jay Viper, and he stops the clock with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, good throw here. And good protection and composure by the quarterback, as collapsing pocket around him, not phased. Makes the throw, makes the completion. Caught inbounds and then run out of bounds to stop the time. Many positive things happening for Motor City in that one play.
You wonder why they ran it on first down, because they never got an opportunity to at least get into a scoring position. Jackson's going to play fake, crossbody, caught again for a first down, and now they'll call a timeout.
Nice play action here. This time, better result. The last time they ran the play action, Jacob, it was a sack. This time, perfectly timed fake. Nice throw, and you got a wide receiver in open space, and King Jackson is now sitting at 7 for 11.
Terrell Cooper on that grab. And now 4 wide for Jackson. He's inside Nashville territory. That throw was misread downfield by Phil Koss and falls harmlessly incomplete with just over 20 seconds left here in the half. And to highlight those teams, that's near identical really across the board, outside of the rushing total, which is in Nashville's favour, but the passing yards are basically identical, which you wouldn't have called. That's picked off. What a play across the middle by Tigger Clay.
What a play indeed. Playing like a receiver as he climbs up the ladder for that catch before being tackled by the actual wide receiver. Nashville is playing out of their minds in defense.
It's the second turnover of the game for King Jackson, and a real suffocating one, because they were starting to build with little clock left in the half to try and get a score on the board before the half was out. But now Sean Sanders will get a carry, and that will bring us to half-time mark. And just, it's an opportunity for Motor City. When you look at that scoreboard, 13-point difference is 2 scores. It's still very much within their grasp, but they need a readjustment at half-time. And that's where it ends here, the first half. Nashville up 16 points to 3 at home at Motor City. Let's take a quick halftime break, presented by Brakes GPT. Michael Lopez, plenty to unpack from that half. Give me your keys to the half and what perhaps needs to change for Motor City to get back into this game.
I mean, it's just dominant offense by Nashville. Their defense really turning the tides for them. Motor City could have had 2 scoring possessions. Instead, they're pinned at 3. King Jackson had a total of 3 interceptions prior to this game. Already has 2. That's going to be the key for them to improve going into the second half.
Victor Ironleg is your player at the half after those 3 field goal attempts.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Breaking into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community collectors on our Breaks GPT Facebook page and look in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on the site, breaksgpt.com. And a kickoff return here from Motor City up to the 30. And just as this half starts, let's have a quick look at what's happening on the other side of this block at SFL HQ.
This may be the week of the upsets, Jacob. Chicago at Lexington tonight, and this is a double coverage catch for Kyle Finnemore. Lexington has not completed a pass tonight, and they trail Chicago 21-0. Back to you in Nashville.
Type Attack might have found the secret sauce there this week. Chicago on their route to their opening win of the campaign. And Motor City looking to get back into this one here in Nashville. Jackson rolls out. Avoided the sack, 3rd pick of the game. And going back in the other direction is J Mart for a 2nd time today. Got the stiff arm, and he's going to be fielded inside the red zone already. Disastrous for King Jackson off the opening play of the half.
Cha-ching, baby! That's 250K in J Mart's wallet as he gets his 2nd interception. And what another way he climbs the ladder again. He has hops. My man is jumping up to get his bag and to get his team the bag. By the way, let's look at Motor City's last 3 drives. Interception, interception, interception.
It's all falling apart here for the V8s on offense now. A throw to the end zone. It's caught. They didn't even wait a second to inflict more damage, and Jeff Banfield catches it inside the end zone stripe.
And that is the quickest scoring I've seen when you come out not having possession of the ball in the second half.
Didn't even get a chance to highlight the fact that the 3 turnovers from Nashville on defense today have all come from linebackers. Again, 2 from J Mart, 1 from Tinker Clay earlier in the game at the end of the second half. Victor Ironleg completes that extra point, and now the lead is 20.
Yep, Nashville really pouring on the Flames here, holding on to their home field advantage, 23-3. Good stuff from this team.
And you just wonder what the conversations are like at the moment on the sideline. Meanwhile, turn could help, very much so. Stiff arm on the outside, and he's dumped there. Johan Sutherland's first injection of the game. He's on returning, and we've seen him return a couple of those downfield. Gets it up to the 40.
We've seen now a couple of returns by both teams where they end up starting at their 40-yard or more. Previously, Nashville had one where they started at their 49. Now Motor City started at their 40. And it is a mountain to climb, Jacob, with 20 points to go, but maybe this is the spark they needed to start well.
Split twins again for Motor City, trying to really reshape the approach here, with the lead being what it is. The fullback dive again to the short side for Gustas, picks up 2 yards, and we'll see just how much this playbook evolves here for Motor City. With the margin being what it is. Kaufman in the backfield here. But Jackson will throw out of a Joker's set. Throws downfield. It's incomplete. Was looking downfield. Found a one-on-one matchup there between Terrell Cooper and the outside corner, but he couldn't reel it in. It's a 3rd and long.
This is probably exactly why they decided to throw out of the Joker set. They were banking on the Terrell Cooper 1-on-1. Unfortunately, it did not pan out, and it's 3rd and long instead.
Jackson's going to have to throw here. Trying to shake off the turnover bug. Rolls out and around. That's incomplete. The receiver couldn't get to the football, and that's going to bring Motor City upfield.
A huge move after this penalty here as they go flip the field in a single penalty is unfortunate for Nashville here.
Yeah, Chris Starsh there denied the receiver Terrell Cooper opportunity to get to the football there. Illegally so, and that's going to set Motor City up now just outside of Nashville's 30. So the best opportunity for quite some time for King Jackson to try and put some points up here. Spread receivers here. He'll roll out. Got a clean pocket. Cross field is caught by Jay Viper. That was a little bit of swagger in that one there on the catch, and picks up 6 yards.
Yeah, I know, one-handed catch there. Staying upright as well to pick up maybe a couple more after the catch. Jay Viper's looking really nice after that one.
He'll be set here on 2nd and 4. I'll drag Koss out as a receiver in the open field. But it'll be a handoff up the middle, and Dean is crumpled, but he kept going. And a tough yard there to pick up, but Jay March shuts it down. And it'll be another 3rd down upcoming here for Motor City.
Nashville really sent all their linebackers and their safeties, all their DBs, and the entire kitchen sink trying to stop that run down the middle.
And now another Joker's formation left-hand side. Motion a receiver across. Jackson will drop back. The fullback was open momentarily. Throws it short. It's caught by Phil Koss. Nice patience there from King Jackson. I'll wait for that one to develop. And they pick up a 1st down.
Koss ran what looked like a comeback route. And whoever was defending him stepped back too far. And Koss was just there open for the nice catch.
Jackson, fresh set of downs. Waits. Surveys, it's picked! He made the mistake, threw it into the end zone, and King Bradshaw with the interception. Try not to say King Jackson, he was the one that threw it. King to King connection, but the wrong one for Motor City.
No.
And Bradshaw's got the 4th turnover for this Nashville defense.
King to King. If that was the 3rd interception, could have been a full house. Instead, it's a 4 of a kind. 4 interceptions. That is tough to swallow after you start your season with only 3 in your first 4 games.
Motor City have been okay, but the turnovers have suffocated them today. That run from Sean Sanders picks up 7. It's been a quiet afternoon for him, but every time he's been called upon, he's been solid. But you expect now that Nashville are going to take too aggressive an approach here with the way that he's running the football. And the way that the scoreline is heavily in their favour now. A run here. Thumper took the sneak. And he'll pick up a 1st down.
I'm a fan of having your quarterback involved in the run game on those sneaks and slides. Obviously, you want to slide to secure the ball and reduce the risk of your quarterback getting hurt. But those sneaks, you keep the defense guessing. Are they going to hand it off? This time, the speed of the sneak got them.
Toss play outside. Sanders is dumped behind the line of scrimmage that time. And again, Mark highlighting this Motor City defense has done a good job tonight in a general sense. They haven't given up too much downfield. Done a decent enough job on Sean Sanders, who can be dangerous on his day. But thus far, it just hasn't eventuated for them on the scoreboard. Thumper's going to drop back. That's incomplete. Good coverage play there on the back end. It'll be a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, you make the perfect point about Motor City limiting Sean Sanders. Although, even though we say that, he's still averaging 3.4 yards in 10 attempts.
3rd down and 10 here for wide for Switch Thumper. He rolls out, had a block, tip there, and Motor City gets a hold on defense. That ball couldn't quite get through to Jeff Banfield, the intended target, and Nashville will punt this one away.
This is their first non-scoring drive. They've always either scored or ended the half as their only other non-scoring drive.
We saw Vancouver earlier tonight make a big comeback late in the contest. Motor City's certainly not out of this, but something needs to change here late, and certainly Vancouver can do it against Baltimore. Motor City are very well capable of doing this against a young Nashville outfit, especially with some of the weapons that they have headed downfield. Stranger things have happened in this league so far this weekend. Jackson, this is a new formation, so perhaps a shift in playbook here from Robert Thump. Jackson's going to drop back, had pressure, and found a one-on-one downfield, but King Bradshaw has been all over the field today, deflects that one away from Phil Koss.
And Motor City tried to bring out a different formation here, but Motor City stayed composed, need to bring the pressure, and that was enough pressure. And on your point about trying to replicate Vancouver's success against Baltimore, it's going to be tougher for Motor City because they're the road team in this situation. Well, Vancouver was their home in that, so they had the support of their fans in that comeback win.
Throws across, and that one's incomplete. Again, the coverage was tough there, and King Bradshaw starting to make a claim for being the best on field, at least when Motor City have had the ball, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
It's going to be Operation Keep Slinging the Rock. Unfortunately for them, out of those many attempts, 4 went the way of Nashville.
Jackson, 3rd down, is caught downfield,
Finally.
gets one there, and hits the crossfield body pass there and picks up a 1st down through hands to Terrell Cooper.
That's a nice throw downfield. He's only made now his 3rd completion in what looks like his last 10. And this time getting a 1st down.
Jackson now the first set of downs, drops back again. That's incomplete, and swooping through there was Xavier Rue the 3rd. Nearly had an interception there, falling his ankles, but he's 2nd and 10.
They're near the midfield though. I think this is the furthest they've been in their last 3 drives.
It's the Twins formation here. Jackson's going to pass this time. Good catch from Phil Koss.
Wow. Oh
20 odd
no!
yards on the fly, and he's pulled up short here. Certainly not what they were intending there. Takes one for the team.
Well, hopefully it's nothing too big. It didn't look like the hit was big for Phil Koss. Maybe it was the way he fell, but if it's not a big injury, there is a chance for him to come back.
A little bit dusty after that catch there, Phil Koss, and Motor City otherwise have a fresh set of downs from Nashville's 35. So Jackson's starting to build momentum again. Key is here not to break that momentum by his own volition. The handoff on the short side to Dean, beats a tackle. Bansler had to drag him from behind. It's an 8-yard pickup for Christopher Dean, so that's equal to his best carry of the afternoon.
Yeah.
He knocked over J Mart there, who's had a near perfect afternoon.
That's a good point.
Dean there getting one back for his team. And the excellent J Mart. Split jokers here, a handoff on the short side. That's a carry for Shane Kaufman, and he will pick up a first down. So the Motor City running game looking a bit healthier here. And now the playbook can be opened up a little bit here inside the red zone.
Picks up 9 yards in that play, and the halfback dive. His longest run after his first couple of runs netted him a total of 0 yards. So he's now sitting at a total of 9.
Split twins here. Jackson will throw again. Short throw is caught by Hazami Mahata for a pickup of 7. That's his first catch of the afternoon. Jackson immediately going to the tight end that filled in for the void of Phil Koss, and now they're on the fringe of goal to go territory. Split Jacks here. Dean very good in these situations. Hands off up the middle. He's only going to pick up a yard. Well read there. Up the middle by Jeff Gagne. It'll be a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Nashville just made things tricky in the trenches there, tying everyone in knots, pushing linemen in and linemen out, and down the middle. There was practically no holes to gain here, but split jokers again.
Receiver in motion here is Terrell Cooper.
Pretty light on the line for the defense.
Hand off up the middle. Dean is not going to get it. He's short by a couple of inches, and Jeff Gagne once again with a critical tackle on the interior.
Goodness. Gagne has 3 tackles for losses. And if that was a key tackle again, his tackling is impeccable. Oh!
Well, gee, right, that nearly hooked away from him there, English T. And Motor City, not as adventurous as Vancouver down the stretch were in the opening game. They don't go for the 4th down attempt, and I'll add another 3 points to their score.
I will add that not only were they not adventurous, they're also less willing to give their fans heart attacks, blood pressure raising, inducing situations. So I'm going to give them credit for that.
And off up the middle, return gets it up past the 30 to the 33. There is Ryan Davis, and Motor City feel like they're a turnover away from potentially making this interesting. They've shown they can move the ball downfield. They just haven't converted yet when they've gotten into that kind of range. But a turnover from their defense could really shift the momentum of this game enough to the point where they could make a case here. But it needs to come quickly.
And the defense has got to do something as well. Nashville has been sticking on their offense has been sticking on the field longer than Motor City would like.
I'm not necessarily been on their side today. Thumper throws downfield, and Copeland Jr., who has been almost faultless, gets another first down grab.
I love it. I love that Nashville is still staying aggressive despite their 2-score, I guess technically 3-score lead here, up 17, I'd like to say, and still making the throw and completing it anyway. Nashville is really pouring on the offense.
Single back off to the left here for Thumper. Hand off up the middle. He's going to pick up 6 yards there to Sean Sanders. And that run game has cemented itself here in the second half. Something that Nashville has struggled with so far in season 23. It's been a bright spot so far tonight. Hasn't had a heavy dosage, Sean Sanders and Easton King, but when called upon, it's been efficient. King up the middle, that's another good carry. He's been very impressive today, Mark Easton King. He picks up 5 yards and a first down.
Absolutely impressive by King. Although he is averaging just about 3 yards per carry, but the few times we've seen him have the ball, Jacob, it's always been either for first downs, right, converting on those 3rd down situations, and pretty good contribution by King.
Handoff on the short side to Sean Sanders picks up 5 yards, and an interesting usage for Easton King, a wide receiver convert that started his career as a receiver for San Diego, then signed on as a running back, but he's been used as more of those power rushing concepts. As you see here with the Jokers formation, he's in the backfield. He's a big boy.
Yes.
He's got a great lead blocker in Jay Barmer, who creates space there, and he picks up 4 yards.
There's a few things why that is the case. Either that is their game plan, or Sean Sanders is relaxing on the bench, cooling down from a bit of the running, and it's just the prime time that we see Easton King. Those times only happen in heavy sets.
Single back off to the right. And a quarterback sneak from Sean Sanders. Second time we've seen that today. Picks up the first down.
Good stuff. 2 for 2 now for Switch Thumper. And nice little wrinkle. It's what's keeping them on the field.
Single back off to the right here again. Toss play to King. He's met there quickly by Nicholas Warner. Only a 1 yard pickup on that play.
I wonder if we get to see a sneak into the end zone for 6. Now that's gonna make my night here.
That'll do us for 3 quarters. It's Nashville firmly in control of this contest at home. 23 points to 6 over Motor City.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
How many likes do we have on the video so far? It's not enough. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on so you won't miss a minute of SFL and SFL in action. Help the channel grow through your support. Hand off from Thumper to the tailback there in Sanders. Picks up 6 yards, and they just continue to put Motor City to the sword here.
Mm-hmm.
3rd down and 4, an opportunity for the V8's defense to get a hold here. Thumper's going to throw to the backfield. It's caught by Easton King, who casually runs it out of bounds after a pickup of about 7 and a first down.
You gotta look at the bench here for Motor City. Spirits low. I mean, what a play by Nashville out of one of their heavier sets. Instead, it's a swing pass, where in most situations you run to bleed the clock. What a play by Thumper and company. Just switching things up, as you can say. Switch Thumper, the engineer of an incredible drive.
Nice play on words there. And Sanders is going to carry this all the way to the end zone. Sean Sanders has got a double.
Beautiful play. I thought he was going to get caught up in his line, but instead he breaks loose. One of the few instances where a halfback gets caught up in his line and bounces off for a touchdown, no less. Triples up on his TDs for the season with number 3, and it's a night to remember for him and his team.
Highlighted there, a switch up of play calling there. They had a 4 wide formation and they ran out of it, and that's what created the space up the middle, because Motor City had some defensive backs positioned out wide, and Sanders had plenty of room to run into once he got past the initial contact. And Motor City now well and buried here. There you go again, highlighting Nashville haven't had many attempts on offense, but their drives have been long, they've been exhaustive, they've taken plenty of time off the clock. One another example of that. Another 10-play drive there that spanned just under 4 minutes. Now Motor City. The handoff to Gusters out of the backfield. That's going to lose a yard. RC Puff gets a tackle. And quick worth highlighting Eddie Gage along with Josh Sturr on stats for us tonight, giving us the numbers and again highlighting the efficiency of Sean Sanders that has really improved across the course of from the last week to this week especially. It's been a dramatic change in speed for the Nashville primary tailback as Gustas gets another carry. That picks up the yard lost and a couple extras, and with third down and long upcoming.
And we saw the disparity in play for Nashville. Time possession for Motor City as well is not helping them, as they only had 13 minutes out of the 30 total that has transpired, and they have only put up 6 points on the board.
Jackson, can he make something happen? He's going to throw a pick. And going back in the other direction is King Bradshaw. It's another King on King crime, and this time it's worth 6 points for Nashville.
Another cha-ching for Nashville. Bradshaw this time with money in the wallet. $250K for multiple interceptions, and he saw what his teammate J-Mart did. I tell you what, Jacob, this is the very same exact place where Jackson was picked off for a pick 6.
In effect, and what a change in pace for Motor City between last week and this week. They put up 40 points on Indianapolis last week to get their first win of the season, but they have been completely dominated here on the road. Nashville back to their best mark. They had a couple of losses on the bounce that left them short. They were a little bit knocked on confidence, but they've come back very strongly here today. The kickoff not returned by Viper, and you really feel like it would be hard for James Walters to pick anything out of this performance to see as a negative. They have been effectively perfect. No turnovers on offense. They've had a ton of turnover on defense. And as a result, this is a very lopsided scoreline in favor of the tempo. And all above that, Motor City haven't played that badly in a general sense. It's just been the turnovers and the lack of diversity in their play calling, as that's the first time that fullback run has gotten anything more than a yard, and picks up 6 on that occasion from Gustas.
Yeah, the Busters run to the outside, almost outside zone play from the fullback, and they're still lining up in a very heavy set here.
And off at the middle that time is met at the line of scrimmage there from Tanner Hendricks. First time we've called his name. It's just, again, simply how many weapons this Nashville defense has, that a player like Tanner Hendricks sort of fades into the background almost. But here on the 3rd and 4, Twins off to the left. Jackson drops back, pressure getting around the edge. Jackson's going to rush it himself, and we'll pick up the first down.
Good rush by Jackson there. Get just enough for a first down. I mean, that was a pretty decent defensive play or defensive down by Nashville. It was just a little bit of creativity from Jackson, giving his team another chance at moving downfield.
Split spread here for Motor City. Motion the fullback across. Handoff will go up the middle, and picking up some steam is Christopher Dean, who will roll forward and pick up a first down. Best run of the night for Dean.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's coming at not the best time, where you would have been expecting Motor City with more of a sense of urgency, and yet we still see them attacking the ground as if they're the ones with the lead.
Third quarter of the other game, Chicago keeping their foot on the pedal. 28 points to 10, they are up in that game. It's a handoff to Hoffman out of the backfield, and he's going to pick up a yard there. And Dylan Bansler's had a good performance today. That Nashville linebacking core has been absolutely spotless today. Play from Jeff Gagne on the run coverage. Jay Mart's done a bit of everything. Bansler's played some pass coverage today, and Tigger Clay has had an interception as well. That unit's going to get fed a little bit of extra food at the end of the night here in Nashville, as that handoff for Gustas is going to pick up a yard, if that. And again, J Mart on the run coverage. Third down and long. Jackson here with 3 wide. Or 5 wide, I should say. Jackson drops back, got a block up front. Waits, surveys downfield. It's incomplete. Was looking for the outside man in Terrell Cooper. Couldn't find him. Again, forcing it to a one-on-one matchup, but he just can't come up with it.
Yeah, fortunate for them. It's going to be 4th down situation here. You got to go for it. But they're punting here. A lack of resolve, a lack of a sense of urgency. I think this is them waving the white flag already with 5.5 to go.
Punt away, fielded at the 20 and returned up to the 23. And Nashville now with 5.5 left in the contest can have an opportunity to add even more insult to injury here for Motor City. And again, have been basically spotless in their play calling on offense today. Switch Thumper has nearly 150 yards off only 11 completions. But it's been the run game that has probably been the most impressive, just given where it was a week ago. Whatever adjustments James Walters made in the midweek have had a massive impact on Sean Sanders, who picks up that carry there, and TJ Harper gets that stop at the line of scrimmage. And, well, don't go anywhere. If you want more football, Week 6 will continue tomorrow with a slate starting with Mexico City traveling to its arch nemesis, the Fort Worth Toros, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, plus Charleston at Houston on the other side of that block as this handoff goes up the middle for only a yard there, stopped by Nicholas Warner. With late games tomorrow night, Queen City at Carolina and Pittsburgh against Atlanta. It's another double breaker, a double header, I should say. SFL Sunday night here on SFL YouTube. And again, those first 2 games tomorrow of particular interest. The South Division rivalry capped off with Charleston head coach J.W. Hartshaw returning to his former team. As Nashville here on a 3rd down are just going to run it with Easton King. And he will pick up 5 there. Harper on another tackle. Stops that one from being a first down. And Motor City will get another possession on offense.
Yeah, finally, if very few stops. Nashville probably letting the foot off the gas momentarily. It is a mountain, and I mean an Everest-level mountain to climb here for Motor City.
Suspect that they're just playing for pride from here on out. This return by Sutherland on the outside, and again showing his prowess on returning duties here, gets them up to the 35.
Well, Nashville's in your team's division, Jacob. They are now, after this game, looking at potentially 3-2. You guys are 3 wins as well. What do you think about this Nashville team in your division?
They're a problem, Mark. You see the amount of weapons they have on both sides of the ball. Tonight's their defense that has really locked in. The fact that it's mostly come out of their linebacking core is impressive in and of itself. Their secondary has not had much to do. Hasn't had much love outside of King Bradshaw, who's had 2 picks tonight. Now a throw across body that's caught downfield, so positive for Motor City. They're going to go no huddle here. Jackson just shy of 200 yards. So he's actually had more passing yards through the air than Switch Thumper, but it's those 5 turnovers that mar his scoreline. And that was nearly a hat-trick for King Bradshaw there, in and out of hands.
Yeah, almost had his 3rd instead. That is his 4th pass deflection. I mean, you talked about how the DBs of Nashville hasn't been having any action. It was because Bradshaw has been, taking all the action. 3 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, and a pick, 6, 7 tackles. He has been all over the place.
Here on a 2nd and 10. Jackson drops back. That is incomplete. Nearly a double for Tigger Clay there on that play. And Jackson is really flirting with this 6th turnover, and undoubtedly looking at the chat here, he's got his head down a touch. But again, worth noting, King Jackson arguably had a career best game last week against Indianapolis. It just hasn't transpired here tonight. Bit of a come back down to earth sort of moment given to him by this Nashville defense, a very stout unit. And Jackson convert here on a third. Down a crossbody, that's
There we
caught.
go.
Breaking the first tackle there was Terrell Cooper. And Motor City can move forward inside the Nashville 30. It would be nice to see him get a score up on the board before the game's out. That's tipped away and picked off at the back by Tanner Hendricks, the beneficiary of about 5 different deflections in the contest. And he waited at the back like he has for pretty much the entire game. And he's going to pick up the 6th interception out of hands from King Jackson.
That is the second important stat that has tripled for the season for a player. We saw Sanders triple his touchdowns, and then now King Jackson, unfortunately, triples his interceptions, going from 3 to 9 in a single game.
That's the thing that hurts, right? I mean, 3 interceptions is 3rd best in the league in terms of keeping the ball safe, and he just has completely thrown that away tonight. So for his own personal records, it hurts. For Motor City, it hurts because you're coming off a huge win and have been humbled today as Sean Sanders picks up 9 yards on that pickup. He's been especially impressive. Just took a minute for Sean Sanders to get acclimated in this offense. He was very impressive as a back. I know one of the statisticians tonight, Eddie Gage, highlighted him as one of his favorite players in the league. I can say the same. He's awesome to watch just with the way that he picks up speed off the mark. But tonight has been more like the Sean Sanders we expected in this Nashville offense. And again, here on 2nd and 1, we see the impressive Easton King in the backfield. Jay Barmer has done an excellent job as the lead blocker tonight. Hand off to King. Surveyed and picks up the 3 yards necessary for a first down.
First of many more nails in the coffin. If there weren't already nails in the coffin, they're just crossing their T's and dotting their I's. And what a statement win by Nashville.
John Marine in the chat raises a good point. I do wonder if this is the most turnovers in a game in this era of football. I certainly hope for King Jackson's sake it's not. But a 2-minute warning here. Nashville looking to cap off an extremely impressive performance here at home. Will they just conservatively run this one out, or do they want a little bit more smoke to the fire here? Handoff to the left-hand side. Good tackle in open field. That's going to be a tackle for loss there.
First time out used.
One of the only times really that Sanders has lost a yard. He averaged just under 4 yards per carry on 18 touches for 71 yards. It's a nice little stat line coupled with the 2 touchdowns that he has scored. So it's comfortably his best performance so far in Nashville colours. That throw is incomplete. Motor City nearly put a mar on an otherwise perfect afternoon for Switch Thumper. But it's dropped out of hands by King Rashid.
2 minutes to go. If you're Motor City, that is 2 minutes of, trying to look back and see what went wrong, or perhaps what did we miss from Nashville that we didn't take account in our playbook. Because coming into this game, you look at your previous week, and that was a statement win for Motor City. And perhaps maybe some lessons that came from that game didn't transfer to this game. Maybe they were trying something new against a new franchise, and maybe they thought that they could get away with it. Could it be they underestimated Nashville? We don't know the full story, but Motor City for sure is gonna, take this loss by the chin and come away hopefully stronger.
Sutherland returns up to the 40, and not all doom and gloom for Motor City. They will next week host the Pittsburgh Riverhogs, who could potentially be at the same record depending on how their performance goes with Atlanta tomorrow night. An opportunity for Robert Thump to go back to the film room and see if he can correct some things. It'll be a 1-4 record, which is something you can possibly come back from, but potentially be a hot minute for Motor City to try and work things out. That's almost another interception. G7 would have been absolutely demoralising if the 6 wasn't already there. Chris Delroy nearly had one. And Jackson now really adding fuel to his own fire.
At the very least, he is still far away from the league record for most turnovers, which is 12.
Jackson, that's caught in double coverage. Receiver did him a favour there. Grabbed it in contested coverage and picks up 13 on that pickup.
Completion number 16 for King Jackson in 33 attempts. And just about at his league hour season average as far as completion rate goes.
For wide here, Jackson drops back, gets picked up for the 7th time.
He will
Not what Jackson wanted, and it might go back the other way. Xavier Rue III has picked up one, and Nashville will pick it up inside Motor City territory.
Well, what was that about the defensive backs not getting in the action, Jacob?
Well, they've got a couple now for either of their corners, and a positive for Xavier Rue III, who was a little bit upset last week as the events that happened in the Florida game when he was tasked with matching up with Stephen Bush and had a game to forget, really, but he gets an interception today and has basically done what he needed to do. So a turnaround for him as well, and a highlight of James Walters' ability to change the playbook around, change the game script for his Nashville unit. And they've done an outstanding job tonight and will cap off a 37-6 win. Here, a statement performance from Nashville. They're right back into the thick of it and will be above 500 after tonight. Right where they want to be. Again, worth mentioning, Nashville will stay at home next week. They play host to division opponent, the Carolina Skyhawks, and will then travel to the Denver Nightwings before they have their first of 2 byes. Motor City in a similar position where they will host Pittsburgh. They'll go back home and have an opportunity to recorrect things here because they have a road matchup with Minnesota in 2 weeks' time. That's going to be a real highlight on their schedule. But it's Nashville's night here. A 37-6 statement victory for the Tempo. Huge night for Nashville's defense. 7 interceptions from King Jackson. Mark Lopez break down what we just saw.
It probably summarizes this game here, Jacob, in that one phrase. 7 interceptions by King Jackson. Obviously, there is a lot more to it in this game. There was the running game that didn't pan out much for Motor City. They really tried to punch in the Julian Guster's fullback run to the outside. That did not yield any yards at all, maybe once. And then time of possession, Nashville won the game pretty much the first half and just stuck to it. They outscored Motor City in every single quarter. And that is pretty much it. Also include the 2 pick sixes. So their defense outscores Motor City's offense as well.
That'll do us here for the first of the 2 final games here on SFL Super Saturday. Coach us tomorrow for 4 more games and then the Monday Night Spectacular, of course, with Cameron Irvine and Charles Doherty. Thanks for watching and have a good night.